Try the same 200-meter start-stop challenge as Lesson 6 in a higher-powered car. In a car with more power, your speed will be higher after travelling the same distance, requiring you to start braking even faster. Use the yellow cones on the side of the track to gauge and adjust your braking point. From here you will practice making a turn or cornering on a circuit. Launch your car from a standstill as you have done before, drive through the corner and reach the goal. The key to driving fast is to maintain full throttle while focusing on your steering operation. Adjust the timing and the amount of turning you do on the steering controls so that you do not drive off the track. Try driving the section from lesson 8 with a slightly faster car. With a faster car, you will no longer be able to make the turn at full throttle. If you start going wide and it seems like you will go off the track, let off of the throttle or step on the brakes to decelerate. Get into the habit of decelerating when you think you can't make the turn. The corner in this lesson cannot be turned while flat out, making speed control with your throttle important. If the car is going wide, let off of the throttle until it stops sliding outward, and then give it more gas again. If you maintain the angle of your steering constant when you do this, you will really be able to feel the effect that throttle operation has on the movements of the car. Drive the car so that you do not drive off the track surface. Speed control in corners. 3. Try turning into a corner by controlling your speed with the throttle. If the car starts to go wide towards the outside of the corner, make sure to give it less gas to reduce your speed, so that you do not end up driving off the track. Remember again to decelerate if you don't think you can turn, and make sure you control your speed by just letting off of the throttle. Practice completing your deceleration before entering a corner. If you go too fast into a corner, the car will not make the turn and run off of the track. To avoid this, you must reduce your speed before entering the corner. The key is to reduce enough speed so that you can go into the corner with your foot off the brakes. Continuing from lesson 13, practice completing your braking in the straight section before a turn. Here, the marker boards on the side of the track will serve as your guide to start braking. Always remember the distance at which you started braking in your last run. Race circuits often have many features such as curbstones, guardrails, signs and so on that you can use as markers for your driving. Actively utilize these features to your advantage. Practice decelerating rapidly from high speed as you approach a corner. The basics are still the same. Use the marker boards as your guide to gauge your braking, and complete your deceleration in the straight section before entering the corner. An important point to remember here is to apply brakes firmly on your first application, and to never let off and reapply brakes again because you applied the brakes too soft or too early at the start. If you end up reapplying the brakes after letting off, your stopping distance will become longer, leading to losses in lap time. Always remember to apply brakes firmly all at once. This is another practice to finish all your braking in the straight before a turn. When you consider the gripping ability of the tyres, it is best to apply the brakes while the car is travelling in a straight line. To use your brakes effectively, finish reducing your speed before entering a corner. Use curbstones and guardrails as your marker to time your braking when you drive.